Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the United Stand. Welcome to your afternoon update on everything going on with Manchester United. I am tired. I'm still recovering from last night. It feels like every United fan is just getting over what we witnessed last night. I'm sure you've seen all the vlogs, you've seen the build up to the game and everything that went on yesterday. It was an absolutely crazy day for the United Stand and the whole team. And you know what? The team actually didn't let us down for once. We actually got a result and we're all a little bit more buoyant for a change than the day after. Tired because it was a late one, but you know what? Days like this are worth it when United actually win. But what is going on after? Well, we're talking Antony. We're talking, sorry, just bear with me a second as my screen just spazzes out on me. Yeah, we're talking Antony. We're talking Trapp, sorry, not Pratt. I'm not Goldbridge. I got that mixed up straight away. I knew that was going to get in there. No, it is Adam, not Mark. I'm not calling the new goalkeeper a target a Pratt. It is Kevin Trapp from Frankfurt. We're talking him. Eric Bailly possibly leaving, and even Scott McTominay. We've got news about Scott McTominay. It is rumours. I'm going to bring up all the details, and as always, we'll bring up what we can on the screen. We'll check out the United Stand Twitter feed as well, everybody, because all the information and extra bits that you need are on there as well. First of all, I think Miguel Delaney from The Independent has been running the Antony updates recently. We are apparently a couple of days away from a new improved bid. I think Laurie Whitwell has said as well, Ajax are expecting I think it's second or third, you could call it, bid. A very substantial one should be going in this week. We should be hearing something very soon on this. Interesting in terms of what Miguel Delaney said as well on his Twitter feed in terms of Antony has pretty much agreed all personal details. They're done, they're finalised, they're in place. All that is left to do, as always, is Manchester United agree a fee with Ajax to get Antony to cross over and come put that United shirt on, join the Ten Hag revolution and move forward. What that will do to the rest of the team, we'll discuss that as well. But in terms of Antony, we spoke about this on the live show on Sunday. We spoke about it on the forum. Everyone knows the ins and outs of this deal now. We know that Antony wants to come. We know he's desperate to come to Manchester United. And it's down to Ajax again. The only snag I see in this now is Ajax just stubbornly trying not to let. You can call it stubborn, but you could just say, look, Manchester United have pretty much obliterated their team, management, everything this summer. We've taken Ten Hag, we've taken Martinez, we're about to take another player if Antony comes as well. It is big for Ajax, and you know what? I've said this many times before. Ajax are looking to sort of progress themselves, and a bid right at the end of the transfer window isn't going to help them. Are they going to be that stubborn to turn down this amount of money? That's the key. That's the question in all of this, because it is going to be an astronomical bid. Will they have the backbone to hold up on that? Will they say, look, no, it doesn't matter what you offer, we're keeping him? It's another player pretty similar to Ronaldo at United who wants out of this football team. That's the key in all of this. He's made it very clear he wants to leave. The money's on the table, hopefully, from United. He's already agreed personal terms on that side of things. So Antony does look like the target. We've talked about Hakpo as well in all of this. I'll get onto him in a minute, but I think honestly now, looking at it, if I was to put my money on one player coming in now before the window shuts, it would be Antony, that forward player. Obviously, signed, sealed, and delivered is Casemiro. That is done. The midfield area isn't covered. Don't get me wrong, that still isn't enough for me. But Casemiro definitely does strengthen our midfield areas. Who knows what's going to happen with Frenkie de Jong yet? If he says he wants to leave, United are in a position, apparently, with a bid ready and the wage structure in place to take him straight away. That's what's being said. That's what we're being told. That will happen if Frenkie de Jong comes out and says, look, I'm out, I'm done, see you later. God knows what will happen towards the last few days of this transfer window with that one. But you can see if Bernardo Silva ends up going to Barcelona, maybe you'll get movement on Frenkie de Jong. But it is going to be a decision between us and Chelsea with that one as well. Antony pretty much has his sights set on United and United only. There is no one else in for him. It is just United against Ajax. Our relationship with Ajax is very, very strong, obviously because of the links with their main man in Edwin van der Sar. He has done deals for us before and made these deals look quite easy, to be honest. That's the bonus of having an ex-player at another club. But I can see where a lot of fans are still like, geez, have we actually got any any structure upstairs? Have we got anyone in the recruitment area that can actually look outside of the Eredivisie? Or are we just solely looking at being, are Ajax the feeder club, basically, for Manchester United? That's how it seems. But looking at it, I would go, good move. The player wants to come. It is a positive that Antony does want to come to Manchester United. And he does fit. He fits in how we play. He fits how Ten Hag plays. We've seen last night in the way that the team works and how hard they worked. Antony knows this, and it does pay because we've seen exactly what Martinez can do. A player that is fully invested, and if Ten Hag plays him and he sticks by him, he will give him everything that he's got. He's done it before at Ajax, and he gave it us last night, and we got a snippet last night of what Martinez is all about. We get the same with Antony, another one of them players playing for you who's willing to give everything. It's not going to help. It's not going to hamper us, is it? It is definitely going to help us going forward. And I said last night in my fan blog, I said, you could tell that the players had given more because they were dead on their feet. Another player who's used to that intensity won't go amiss. And a player that has got decent numbers and has got quality and will improve us. He will improve us. I do believe that how Ten Hag will integrate it, I can see Sancho possibly moving over to the left. I can see Antony taking the right-hand side. What happens with Rashford, I do not know, because Ten Hag has put a lot of time and effort into Marcus Rashford in this, and he's made it very clear that he is fully backing Rashford and thinks he is a player and a forward, especially that can be used in that central area. Does Ronaldo moving on? If Ronaldo moves on, mean that we've got Rashford and Martial vying for that spot in the middle? That's another question. You just got to put it down, break the jigsaw puzzle up in terms of actually how he's going to work it, who he's going to play where. I can't see him dropping Sancho. I'm struggling to see where he drops Rashford out after what he's done. But if you're spending 80 million plus on a player, he's going to come into that team. He's going to be a guaranteed starter. And that, for me, is key in all of this. I think that's why I would say United are fully going in on Antony rather than Hakpo. Because, I mean, we've heard what Van Nistelrooy has been saying. He's just said the right things. He just said, look, his attitude is great in training in terms of Hakpo. Nothing has changed. Obviously, they're looking to that second leg of the Champions League qualifier against Rangers, and that is the big one in that. Whether all of this moves on with Antony after we find out about PSV, and if they progress into the Champions League knockout group stages, then it could just work then. We could be waiting until that game is done. If United find out then that Hakpo is available, does that change our mindset in terms of going in all in for Antony? I don't know. I just believe that the next couple of days, if it is rumoured right that, like Larry Whitwell says from The Athletic, that United are going in with a second bid for Antony, then I can't see Hakpo coming, honestly. I don't think he will. I think PSV will win and go through into the Champions League. I don't think Rangers have got enough to beat them. So I think everything is just leading towards Antony right now. And he's a player that's going to improve us. He's going to make our forward line better, and he's going to give us a different dimension. It is what we wanted. It is what we needed. Ideally, we needed the forward. We needed the centre forward, in my opinion. And not getting that, honestly, is there anyone good out there at the moment to come in? I think we've looked at that. Martial and Ronaldo. If Ronaldo stays, this is key. This is massive to it all. And in fairness, I just think that it's going to be tough for either one of Rashford or Martial if Antony comes in and Ronaldo's still at the football club. That's how I see it. I don't think that we can afford to keep everyone happy. I don't think that we are necessarily going to just ditch Rashford if Antony comes in. I think Ten Hag showed last night with his halftime substitution that he is going with what he worked with in pre-season in Sancho, Rashford and Martial. It worked a treat in the second half. You could see the link up between Rashford and Martial. And Antony coming into that, does it upset the apple cart a little bit? I don't think it will for Ten Hag because he knows him and he trusts the player. But does it upset a Martial or a Rashford? That's the balancing act he's got to put in because he got a lot of effort from everyone last night. And will it make a difference? That's what we got to look at. I don't know. But competition for places is key. Strength in depth is very key. And I think all players, judging off how injuries have gone so far, Martial's injury concerns and how he is he going to be fit every single week? Are we going to see a consistent Martial? If not, does Rashford move in there? And is that where Antony sort of comes in, the winger to cover for Rashford if he has to go central? Do you know what? A lot of this comes down to if Ronaldo actually leaves the football club. That's what I'm looking at. I mean, if Ronaldo's there, everything becomes a little bit more complicated. I am doing a special piece on a topic show, which I think will be out at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning on Ronaldo, actually, and how we move forward with this. But do check that out when that comes out as well. But there is a lot of this linked, I think, with Ronaldo. I think last night, being on the bench in the biggest game in world football said a lot in terms of Ten Hag and how he sees it. Completely going with his philosophy and trusting in his own judgment and who he dropped and who he didn't play last night. And that was a big thing. Ronaldo wasn't in that team, like I said, against Liverpool. It's a big statement. So what happens with Ronaldo now, I think, is key going forward as well. If his wage is off the bill, then I think United could offer anyone anything right now in terms of personal terms. And I think that honestly is where the confidence is in this Antony deal. I think they know the player is happy with the terms and agreed that, like Miguel Delaney says from the Independent, it's all in place, it's done. Can we actually thrash out an agreement with Ajax? That's the key now and going forward in all of this. So we'll see what happens the next couple of days. It is reported that in the next couple of days, that is when everything is going down. So we'll keep our eyes close to the ground on that one, see what happens. Obviously, today, after the Lord Mayor show yesterday against Liverpool, it's a bit quiet, but I think the tempo, I think the pace is going to start picking up for United and incomings, because let's not forget, deadline day, we are actually playing away at Leicester. 8 o'clock kickoff on deadline day. So if any business is going to happen, I think it will be before that game. I don't think it's going to be a deadline day move. So clock is ticking. We're running out of time. Obviously, just over a week now, with a weekend in the way, when not a lot usually happens on weekends. So I do believe that this is probably we're going to start seeing movement in anything transfer related, especially Antony now before this week ends. That's where all the noises are leading to, where Laurie Whitwell and Miguel Delaney have both said from the Athletic and Independent respectively. So I think that's where we're going with that. I think that's what's going to happen with this deal. And United have to be willing to be overpriced. You know what? They're going to have to put the money forward for Ten Hag. They've dug themselves this hole in terms of the fees that they're going to be paying for these players by not acting sooner in the market. So honestly, they've only got themselves to blame. And if they are going to back the manager, they're going to spend more than what they wanted to. Stupid, I know, but that is this football club and how we deal with transfer windows. Moving on to the goalkeeping situation. De Gea had a good game last night. Came out of his box, I think 20 yards out of his box. Proper nosebleed tackle for David De Gea. Where does this leave us goalkeeper-wise? Obviously, the club have made it quite clear that they're going out there looking for a number 2 goalkeeper. The Frankfurt goalkeeper, Kevin Trapp, has been rumoured to have been happy with the 10 to 11 million pound a year deal that United have got on offer. He wants to make the move. Where United get this wage structure from is just beyond me. It really is. Maybe offer like normal wages that normal clubs offer. Save yourself a little bit of money there. Maybe put that towards the transfer fees and get these deals done quicker. I don't know. I mean, agents' fees and player salaries is just somewhere where this club has gone completely downhill. I'm just looking at it going, maybe save yourself a little bit of money actually in these wages, but 10 to 11 million. This is the goalkeeper expected to challenge De Gea, come in initially as a number 2, and then challenge David De Gea as a number 1 possibly next season. Where does that leave Dean Henderson now? Have we not already got an adequate number 2 for next season to come in and challenge? I mean, a full pre-season next season with Dean Henderson in place, vying for that number 1 spot. If he has a great season at Nottingham Forest, he's already off to a flyer. Is Ten Hag going to be looking? Should United really be looking at a number 2 right now? Or does that mean that if Suter's coming for De Gea in the summer, he could be going out the door? It's the least of our problems at the moment, I would say, in terms of what we need now before this transfer window shuts. But we do know that United love a goalkeeper transfer, don't we? We know that they love a deal for a goalkeeper. And honestly, if you said to me right now, we're going with Tom Eaton as number 2 for the rest of the season, save that money on the goalkeeping fee, maybe put that towards the midfielder or the forward that we need. I don't think we need another goalkeeper. I don't. I think Heaton is adequate as a number 2. Why are we even looking? That's what I say. Why are we even looking at a number 2 goalkeeper? I just don't see it. I don't see it. And to be fair, I think we could spend the money elsewhere. And I just think it's United being United. That's it. This love affair with goalkeepers and having. I mean, we've got 2 decent youth team and reserve goalkeepers past Dean Henderson, Tom Heaton right now. But honestly, Kevin Trapp, I know nothing about him. I don't know his qualities. I may get some clips, I may do some reading up on him, but as a number 2 goalkeeper, not my priority, not what I'm looking and getting excited about at the moment. What you may get excited about is a possible outgoing. It's a long shot, this one. Absolute long shot. This came from @Sport on Twitter regarding Scott McTominay and West Ham looking to bolster their midfield options. Scott McTominay apparently is on West Ham's radar. Now, for me, if Scott McTominay was to be leaving Manchester United, and this is where I think this deal dies and we can put it down as just rumour mill, you may want to get excited about it. You may want to I don't know, there's no other way I can sort of describe it. I can't see Scott McTominay leaving, but if you think that he is, then get excited. No, maybe it is a complete changing of the guard at Manchester United. But look how many midfielders have already left this summer. We've only brought 1 in Casemiro. Yeah, you could say Eriksen is part of that, so maybe 2. But can we afford to let McTominay go when we need, I'm not going to say strength in depth, because that will bring up a whole debate about Scott McTominay's qualities, which within the United fan base isn't right up there right now. No one is Scott McTominay's biggest fan right now, unless you're Ricky. Although Ricky has come in and said that he's just said he's better than what we have got. He's the best of what we have got, to be fair to Ricky on that one. But West Ham in for Scott McTominay. Personally, no, not for me. I can't see it. I can't see there anything in that. Like I said, Ten Hag needs cover. He needs squad depth. Midfield centrally anyway, we are lacking in numbers big time. But he has looked at and has stuck with 1 holding midfielder. Even last night against Liverpool, he stuck to his guns and went with 1 holding midfielder. And that was pretty much Scott McTominay with Eriksen and Bruno either side. They shared the role. They all got back in position. But predominantly, there is always 1 holding midfielder in the way Erik Ten Hag plays. So looking at it, can you see Scott McTominay going? Casemiro's in now. Is Fred enough cover? Is it going to be Fred that plays alongside Casemiro? I don't think so, going off what happened last night. He has got 2 forward-thinking players, I say, in Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes, that are going to be the ones that are doing the running. I think he's going to have the 1 holding player, which now is going to be Casemiro. He doesn't use too much energy. He's very clever in the way he plays. So I think Casemiro comes in. That means you've got Casemiro, Fred, and McTominay, in my opinion, all vying for 1 position. Jimmy Garner is still there. We've not got to deal with Jimmy Garner to go anywhere else yet. So looking at it, I go, it's still a risky one. If you want to get rid of 1 more midfielder, unless there is someone else coming in, unless you want to keep Jimmy Garner, then Scott McTominay, by all means, go. There are rumours that this could just be a loan deal for Scott McTominay as well. I wouldn't be put out by that, to be honest. If Scott McTominay wasn't at United for a year, maybe he goes over to West Ham, actually has an all right season at West Ham, then you never know. In the future, good squad player. I think Scott McTominay's ambitions are higher than being a squad player. I think he sees himself as a first-team player, and I think that's where he falls down at Man United. I don't think he is a first-team player. I don't think any Man United fan actually thinks that Scott McTominay should be playing games week in, week out for United. If he was on the bench and just coming on when the team gets tired, like we did last night against Liverpool, 70 minutes, we were blowing out of our asses pretty much, and we were struggling, and we needed to make 5 substitutes. It was key that we did, and we kept it fresh. Donny van de Beek can play in that role as well. We could mix it up and drop Bruno back down in there if needed. We've seen Bruno go out on the right-hand side of attack yesterday. So there's a lot of change in this system of Ten Hag's, and how Scott McTominay fits in, I don't see it. I don't see Scott McTominay fitting into this team once everyone is in. Once Casemiro's in, I think his days are numbered. He is going to have to sit alongside our captain, Harry Maguire, on the bench, I'm afraid, because he isn't a starter. Neither is Fred. I do believe it is going to be, like I said, Christian Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, and Casemiro. I would be amazed if that wasn't the lineup on Saturday lunchtime against Southampton. I think Casemiro will play every single game. Like I said, when we broke the news, I did a video on Casemiro and what he brings. 62 games he played last season for Madrid. So he hasn't got an issue with the work rate. He hasn't got an issue with the fixture pile up that we have to deal with. He is going to get that break. Well, it's not a break. He'll be going over to the World Cup. But like everyone, having to deal with that as well. A few more games there. But everyone is in the same boat. And that when the World Cup comes around, it's who handles it better, who has got the squad depth. That's what's key. That's why I don't see Scott McTominay going. I don't. We're too threadbare in midfield. Not going to happen, in my opinion. I would gladly let Scott McTominay go out on loan. If he can get better, if he can have a good season at West Ham, happy days. But we ain't got enough cover. I'm not rating Scott McTominay as a first-team player, like I said, but we do need that cover. It is going to be a squad game. And like I said, last night showed it has to be a squad game. We needed all 5 of them substitutes. So Scott stays for me. Let me know what you think, guys. And obviously, while you're smashing a like on the video and subscribing to the United Stand, don't forget to drop your comments in below on all of the topics in terms of Antony over Gakpo. Does Ronaldo go? And do we get rid of Scott McTominay for the sake of losing another midfield player when we need as many players as possible in this season? If we're going to play intense with the high intensity that we did last night, I think we need more. Other rumours flying around at the moment. Obviously, centre-back position, we are more than covered. I've still not seen any movement on Phil Jones, but there are rumours that Eric Bailly now could be heading out to Marseille. Apparently, if deals floating around there, if he plays a certain amount of games, a price will go up to a certain amount with Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly, days are numbered, let's be honest. He's just not cutting it with any manager at all that comes in at United. I think he's had 5, and he's never been number 1 with any of them, even with Mourinho, who brought him into the club. I know he's had his injury issues, but Eric Bailly, I think for the sake of his own career, needs to leave Manchester United. If United can get a fee, rumoured to be around about 10 million, he's worth way more than 10 million. That would be absolute stupidity from Manchester United if we let Eric Bailly go for 10 million. At least 20 million, I would say. Half the fee of what we paid for him. His injury record doesn't help him. He has been a lot better, though, and consistent fitness-wise over the last season. So I do believe that there is a player there, and there is value in that for other clubs to look at. I think Eric Bailly is an excellent defender. He has his moments, and maybe he isn't fully suited to the Premier League. I would have loved to have seen him alongside Varane. I really would. Super chat from Amos Adamson says, anything on De Jong? Is he coming? As far in terms of De Jong, I think Beth covered it on the transfer show yesterday with Fabrizio Romano that if De Jong comes out and says anything, then he's off and United are ready to bid. United still want Frankie De Jong. It's simple. It doesn't matter about Casemiro. All that matters is that if Frankie De Jong does become available, he makes himself available by saying he wants to leave Barcelona. United are there with the money. The wage structure is in place already. And he will be a United player. We'd have to compete with Chelsea on that. And I do believe Chelsea would be a problem in that because I think they would overpay like they are doing with every player this summer. And Barcelona would probably go down that road. So for me, it's not looking good for Frankie De Jong in terms of coming to United now, in terms of the time left and the competition. If he does make himself available in Chelsea, I don't think we would win in that battle at all. I think Chelsea would take it. Marcus in with a super chat. Maguire and Shaw shown up last night. They are squad players at best. Thank God Ten Hag dropped them both. I said that at the start. Big shout out to Ten Hag. I said it last night, and every other United fan who came on and spoke on the fan vlogs. Thank you to all them guys as well. All them fan vlog videos are up if you want to get anything from the game and what everyone was thinking inside the stadium. If you wasn't there, the fan vlogs are all up on the channel now. Do check them out. But it was quite unanimous last night. They was impressed, a little bit scared that Ten Hag made the changes he did at the start. I think we all had a little bit of apprehension, like, oh, here we go. Big call. He had the ball to make the big call, as Jay would say. And it paid off last night because the players he brought in played excellent. The players that he dropped deserved to be dropped. And now every United fan is like, okay, please don't play Maguire at weekend against Southampton. Please don't go back on the good work and the balls that you showed in the biggest game in world football last night. If you can play them in the biggest game, you can play them in the normal games as well. No disrespect to Southampton. Like I said, I think Southampton's going to be a harder game than Liverpool was last night. I really do. I think this is probably going to be one of them games. And I said it last night, I think that Southampton will take us to the 95th minute. They are one of the fittest teams in the league. And you have to give credit to Hasenhüttl. He seems to be on the edge every season, but seems to somehow pull it back. And they believe in him. And our record there is absolute crap. I don't think I've ever been there and seen United win. All we do when we go to Southampton is bloody draw. That is it. That's all we seem to get out of Southampton every single time. For me, it is going to be harder than Liverpool because they will sit back more. United could counter-attack Liverpool last night, and it worked. The system worked. We could put the energy in. We had the outlet because Liverpool play so threadbare at the back, and it worked. We sort of shown them up and isolated their defenders well last night. It's not going to be like that against Southampton. Maybe we have to take the game to them. How do we add that intensity in our game that we had last night into a team that's going to sit back against us? That's the difference, I think. Cheers for that super chat. And obviously, moving forward, you got to look at it now, like I just said against Southampton there at weekend. It's key that we back up last night, and it's key that the players stay on board. Even more so now, and I think he's even bigger than results. We need the likes of Maguire, the likes of Luke Shaw, and this is going to show a little bit. I'm not going to start bringing up leaks and stuff like that and problems in the dressing room, but they need to be on board with Ten Hag, even if they're not playing. As a professional footballer, you have to flick your wounds and just sit back and say, look, I haven't performed well. This manager is going to drop me if I'm not performing well. We've just played last night against one of the best teams in the league and we've won. They need to have the attitude of, I'm going to be ready to go when my chance comes. The expectation of the United players now and the God-given right that they feel like they have in some of the players, not all of them, that they have to be picked every single week, that's gone. I think Ten Hag made that statement loud and clear last night. Now they need to be fully on board with Ten Hag as players that are sat on the bench and have to earn their way back into the team. That is what's massive right now. So, all right, having the first team go out last night against Liverpool and smash it, which they did. They put the effort in and you could see how physically drained they were and how much they did give last night. It's all right saying that, but you need the players that are coming off the bench to have exactly the same mentality. You don't need them coming on sulking that they haven't started the game. We've had that with United players in the past. They have to be fully on board with everything that's going on. They come on like Liverpool players come, like City players come on. They come on and they go at it exactly the same way that the players that started the game do. They carry on the manager's words and the manager's message from the bench. Now it's down to Maguire to lick his wounds, Luke Shaw to accept that they aren't first-team starters now. This is Manchester United. You've got no God-given right to think that you can start every single game. Earn your corn, come back into the team when you're actually given a chance and take that chance back. That's when you play next. You're going to have to perform when you come back in. It's not about how good you've been in the past anymore. It's not about what you have done or how much you paid or if you were captain before. It just goes to show the video that I put out regarding Harry Maguire. He now cannot be our captain. It has to change because he isn't a surefire starter. The captain at least has to be playing every single week. So Harry Maguire now loses his place in the team. I think a big decision needs to happen now with Erik Ten Hag in terms of putting a new captain in place and making that clear to the squad and trying to keep that unity within, like I said, with the likes of Maguire. He can't be kicking up a stink. Someone did say to me last night, do you reckon Harry Maguire's out of the squad simply because he's going to Chelsea? I don't think that is the case, but you know what? It's like, it is one of the other. Harry Maguire leaves, or Ten Hag says to him, your time as Manchester United captain is over. I think it's as simple as that. That's how we got to look at it. I think Looking forward now, we have to run off what happened last night and stick to them guns that we showed last night and what Ten Hag put across in terms of the effort, the team that was out there. And it does look like with Ten Hag that if you are going to put that much effort in, you are going to stay in the team. Brilliant last night, all his signings that he has made had a massive influence on the game. Just goes to show that trusting the manager in the transfer window, especially in his first season, is key. And I would love it for them players that Ten Hag has brought in to be mainstays in this team. If he gets another player now that he's going to come straight into this team. So, for instance, Antony, like we're going to finish with, like we started the show with, I'll finish with this. Antony comes in. So that will be Eriksen, Martinez, Antony, Casemiro, and Malacia. 5 players, half a team. I think United fans would accept that as a transfer window in terms of backing the manager, changing half of that team that failed last season. And you could add, if Ronaldo or Sancho drop out for Martial, or even Ronaldo, Martial plays, there's more than half a team there because Martial wasn't part of it last season. You look at it that way, 6 of the out team players have changed from last season's dead certs, you could say, or players that you knew was going to be in the team week in, week out. That's a big change. And the mindset and the ethos of the team and how we move forward moves with it. It needed that much change in the first team for Ten Hag's message. A couple of players can lead a message out there, but eventually it wears off and we revert back to type. 6 players of the outfield players coming in that were different from last season is totally different ball game. It's really hard for the other 4 not to follow suit with them 6, if that makes sense. Antony coming in would go right into the mold of what Martinez knows, already played with Ten Hag, knows exactly what he wants, and I think seamlessly would slot in. Martial obviously is getting used to it himself. Obviously, fresh start, no bad habits from the back end of last season, unfortunately injured, but come straight into the Ten Hag era and hit the ground running. It's like a new player as such there. And like I said, half the team changed over. There you go. I just hear actually breaking news. Laurie Whitwell, while we're on, has just confirmed that Eric Bailly is agreed to go on loan to Marseille. I've just seen that pop up on my screen now. I think the United Stands Twitter feed will have that. If you want any more information on that, I haven't got it all to me. I'm just going to double check now actually on that because that has just popped up on my screen, guys. I want to get that confirmed for you before we finish. It is a transfer update show. We've not put it up on ours yet, but I'm just going to read out what Laurie Whitwell has just come up with now. Just bear with me a second. Sorry, everyone. Let's just get it up. From The Athletic, Laurie Whitwell says Eric Bailly agrees loan move to Marseille, who will cover his wages. Another wage bill gone, everybody. Option to buy becomes an obligation if Marseille qualify for the Champions League, plus Bailly plays a certain number of games. Okay, that sounds like a decent structured deal to me. The Athletic, Laurie Whitwell, have just confirmed that Eric Bailly is leaving Manchester United, initially on loan. There will be an obligation if Eric Bailly meets a certain amount of games played and if Marseille hit the Champions League. That is key, I think, in all of this. The fact that Marseille, no matter what in this deal, are covering Eric Bailly's wages, that is big news for Manchester United. So, yep, Eric Bailly has left, another player off the wage bill for United. I mean, we are saving some serious money right now. I will say on that, in terms of Eric Bailly, I think he must have been close, definitely around 100, 150,000 a week. He only just signed a new contract under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his last year in charge of Manchester United. So Eric Bailly out the door, another big wage off. It's no wonder we can offer the world to these players. Can you imagine if Cristiano Ronaldo leaves? Then the wage that we're saving pretty much covers all cost of what we would have lost for not being in the Champions League and probably some sponsorship deals that we've lost in time. Business-wise, it's clever from United. It is. The fans are not buying it. It's obviously still momentum moving in the Glazer out sort of form. And we're not going to let up on that. No matter what the result, no matter what players come in, no matter what deals this club do or provide, it is still fully based on Manchester United and the fan base being together and united like we were last night at Liverpool. It was brilliant. We made it clear what we thought about the Glazers. We took that into the stadium, got behind the team and the team fed off it, and it was just a good night all around for United. Chris Secco with a super chat. Martinez is pocket-sized Vidic. Yeah, not quite the height, but the ferociousness of his game, absolutely commendable last night. He was absolutely epic and definitely one of the candidates. It was hard to choose last night. It was one of the candidates for man of the match. So moving forward, a very positive start to the week for Manchester United. Moves out in Eric Bayer, possibly get something in with Antony this week and more news on that. Casemiro is confirmed. We've beat Liverpool. We're ahead of them in the league. I'm going to finish on that note, guys. Keys from this, let me know what you think about Eric Bayer leaving the football club. Obviously, let me know in the comments what you think about Antony and that extra bid coming in very soon for Antony. We're hearing that is going to be this week and see what comes from that. Personal terms are fully agreed with Antony, according to Miguel Delaney from The Independent as well. But yep, just to finish off, like I said, he's out the door. He's out on loan. Initial loan fee, wages covered with an obligation an obligation for Marseille to buy him if he meets a certain criteria, i.e. they make the Champions League or he plays a certain amount of games. That's it, guys. Let me know what you think on that when the video comes up on YouTube. Get your comments in below, like, share, and subscribe to the United Stand as always. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you through the week. Do tune in tomorrow for the Ronaldo topic subjects.